Yo, hey guys, SmallmouthCrush. I'm excited to make this video. It's been a long time coming. My 2022 Caymas CX21, brand new. This thing is rigged to the max. I think this is the ultimate setup. It's gonna be a good one. It's all coming up. Hey, before we get into the video, I also want to ask if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I have over 500 fishing related videos on my YouTube channel. We also go live every Monday night, 8 p.m. We get hundreds of live viewers. We get to interact with everyone, ask a bunch of questions. Sometimes we have guests from the fishing industry, someone who's an expert at a specific technique. You never know what you're going to find on the live. It can get crazy. I'll give you a warning. Also, the SmallmouthCrush podcast every other Sunday at 2 p.m. that comes out. Last year, season 1, we talked with 52 of the top smallmouth anglers across the country. And in season 2, we're talking with some of the top local and regional pros. So we got all kinds of stuff there. You can also head on over to my website, smallmouthcrush.com. Check out all the cool stuff going on over there. Let's get into the video. It's an exciting day. Getting a new bass boat, brand new bass boat with a brand new company. We're heading over to Thayers Marine right now to go pick it up. It's cold, but I'm ready. Out with the old, in with the new. So I teamed up with Caymas this year, the Caymas CX21. I just got a glimpse of the boat. Gorgeous boat, awesome colors. So after I grab the boat today, we're actually gonna go get it rigged up. I'm gonna walk you through how I have everything set up in this new boat. A little bit different than my previous boats as far as electronics and some of the things I'm gonna be going with. So I've had quite a few nitros in the past. I love them. Great boats. I have no complaints whatsoever. I just wanted to try something different. In fact, Doug over at Bowers, man, you guys have treated me so well over the years. I have all positive things to say about those guys over at Bowers Marine. But it was time for a change. I wanted to try something different. So Caymas really piqued my interest. I rode in one with my buddy Kyle back in Wisconsin in the fall, and I was really impressed with the boat. I'm certain I'm gonna have a blast fishing out of this boat this year. And I'm gonna give you guys the truth. I'm gonna let you know what I love about these boats and some things I wish I could change, if any. I'm not gonna hold anything back. I'm gonna stick true to what this channel is all about. All right, so here we are at Thayers. Let's head on in and check it out. At least it's a little warmer in here. It's actually a pretty cold day. Not the best ideal day to be picking up a bass boat. All right, here we are. There's the man, Richie. What's up, man?
How are you?
Man, I'm excited about this boat. You got a lot going on here, a lot more than I thought.
Yes,
it's a big
definitely. Deal. Yes, we're a little larger than what most people I think understand, especially being up in New England.
I mean, I got lost in the parking lot.
Yes, and you can get lost in the boat showroom too. What are there, 60 or 70 boats in there?
Crazy, crazy. So what brands do you sell here?
We do Caymas, we do Ranger, Triton, Nitro. We carry a couple of non-bass brands, Bayliner, Maycraft, and then we also carry Lund aluminums.
I caught a glimpse of the boat a little bit. I know we're gonna go a walk through, and man, gorgeous
Yes,
boat.
we're very excited for the Caymas line. They've been a great boat. As far as electronics and installations, we do all that stuff as well. We carry all your major lines. We do repairs on all your major lines. So if you buy a Lowrance Ghost from us, we can also fix your Lowrance Ghost. We don't have to send you anyplace else, which is kind of unique. There aren't a lot of shops that can offer all of that. We do fiberglass, we do canvas repair. I mean, we cover everything if it involves your boat.
Sure.
We can help with every aspect of your rig.
All right, we're gonna head on over to the boat, check it out. I don't think I'm supposed to let you out, buddy. You have to wait right here, okay? All right, let's go take a look at the boat. There it is.
I don't believe that.
So obviously I'm excited to get the boat in the water, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done before we get to that point. So Richie called me and said, hey Travis, your boat's in, it's ready to go. This was at the end of January. It kind of took me by surprise. It arrived a little too quick, right? So from this point, I took it back to my house. My goal is to show you exactly how I have everything set up, how I have everything laid out. So I truly think this is the ultimate offshore. A lot of the fishing I do is offshore, deep water, smallmouth, big waves, big lakes, the Great Lakes. And so I really have to make sure everything's set up right to be able to handle those conditions. So I decided to actually get it rigged up down in Georgia, a place close to Lake Lanier actually. And so I took it down to SonarPros. Trent Palmer Well, here we are. We got a lot of work to do. We got the boat in. They're going to town on it. It's going to be an awesome setup, but it's going to take a little time. And now we are working with the wiring. I got my boxes down in here. 2 active targets this year and 1 LiveScope. Although I just got word that they're coming out with a new LiveScope at the Classic in 2 weeks. So I'm actually going to put the logos on the motor. I got blue stickers, blue decals going on. That's something I can do. I'll let the experts deal with all this mess. So as I was putting labels on the motor, Trent went to work and started the install. I decided this year I wanted to go with just one 16-inch unit at the console, and I went with a Lowrance Live 16. And so the reason for that is I really found that I still use 2D a lot. And it's my opinion that Lowrance has the best 2D out there. And I use it a lot when I'm just idling around. Of course, I'm still going to use the side scan, side image, whatever you want to call it, down scan, down image, and of course the mapping. So I went with the C maps, and I'm going to experiment with those. So at this point, I really feel that the Lowrance side scan, side image is just as comparable as the Humminbird side image. And I don't feel like I'm going to be losing out by not having a Humminbird at the console. If you recall my last boats, I've always ran either a Helix or a Solix, but really primarily for the side scan as well as the LakeMaster. But of course, I can still pull up the LakeMaster on my phone if I want to. So I have a lot of options, but I really think I'll be okay with the mapping that Lowrance provides. Now at the bow of the boat, that's a little bit different story. So I used to run 2 Garmins and the 360. I'm still going to use the 360. The Mega 360 is very important for the way I fish. So at the bow, I'm running 3 graphs. That's a lot of weight up there. I realize it's a lot of electronics, but I really find it very useful to run all 3. And so I'm going to walk you through how I actually have it set up. First, they're mounted on the Bass Boat Technologies mounts. Those are the mounts that I've always run on all my boats. They're awesome mounts. They're going to work great at the console to hold that big 16-inch unit, and they're going to work great at the bow as well. And they're certainly the mount that I recommend. So what are we going to put on the Bass Boat Technologies mounts at the bow? Up front, we're going to run a Humminbird Helix this year, a Helix 12 with the Mega 360. I had Solixes in the past. I mean, either way, you can't go wrong. I'm just using that as a standalone unit. So there's not any 2D, there's no side image. It's strictly going to be for my 360. So I want a full screen for my 360. So my last boat, I ran 3 forward-facing transducers as well. I had one always straight forward, one straight down, and then one on a pole. I'm going to be doing the same thing this year. However, there's a lot of opinions out there, and it's really hard to decipher and shift through who's sponsored by who, who's getting paid by who. I don't know if Lowrance is better than Garmin or if Garmin's better than Lowrance when it comes to forward facing. And so I decided to try it for myself this year. I'm going to put one Garmin, which is permanently forward, on the trolling motor. And then I'm going to use a Lowrance and have an active target that's straight down. A lot of people ask me, well, Travis, why do you run a straight down and a forward-facing sonar? Of course, if you just had a forward-facing sonar, you can see straight down and behind the transducer as well. But I always like to have a big screen devoted to just what I'm seeing straight down, because I still can get right on top of a lot of these deep water fish, and I can see my bait and see exactly how that fish relates to that bait really, really well with a screen devoted just to straight down. I have a handheld pole. It's made by Fishing Specialties. The reason why I like a handheld pole, one, is a lot of times when I'm using anchor lock, spot lock, whatever you want to call on my trolling motor, those other transducers are now out of service because I'm at the mercy of whichever way that trolling motor is going to turn, to move. And so I put the pole in, and I'm able to really see all my targets out there. And what's nice about the handheld versus stepping on some buttons and having one automatically turn, it's simple. I can just grab it and make minor adjustments. I can make a pitch, immediately grab it with my hand, and I can see where that bait fell in relation to the target or the fish that I'm looking for on the graph. So it's a much easier way for me personally to use those electronics. All right, we got her finished. Trent, you did an amazing job, dude. Seriously.
Yeah.
Now, was it that tough?
I wouldn't say it was that tough. It was definitely unique. I mean, this is a lot of, we've got essentially 4 forward shooting transducers up here. It's not a common setup, so there's definitely a little bit of, let's just call it engineering, R&D, whatever you want to term it, to get everything to fit properly and hopefully and definitely work properly. But it was definitely fun, a good challenge, and it's going to be a heck of a setup, that's for sure.
It truly is. I'm really impressed with everything from just the detail work that goes into this whole setup. We had to kind of get creative, right, with these mounts.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I mean, when you're running multiple forward sonars, I think probably the biggest thing that is an issue when you have multiple forward sonars running similar frequencies is you're going to have crosstalk. There's no way around it. So finding creative ways to eliminate the amount of areas those beams overlap was what we had to be creative. And then also, too, make sure your trolling motor functions. We're not going to have impact with our 360, our multitude of transducers here. That's the biggest thing, too, is just making sure everything works in a fishing scenario.
Wow. So we went with Bass Boat Technologies. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but some sneaky stuff here with the wirings and how everything is it's gorgeous, man. If I had to do this on my own, it would never turn out this way, that's for sure.
Yeah, we take pride in doing the cable management and everything really, really clean. I mean, we're kind of known for our wiring harness, but when it comes to rigging too, I want cables to lay straight. I want them to be in an area where there's not going to be pinches or kinks or bends over time. I mean, that's the biggest thing with a good install is just wiring and cable management. That's really what it comes down to.
If you don't mind, let's walk to the back of the boat. Of course, we're going to go into detail about the graph setups this year. I went with the 16-inch Lowrance, but here in the back, very impressed with how clean everything looks.
Yeah, so obviously we got 4 LithiumPros batteries back here. We got 2 36 volts and then 2 12 volts all wired in parallel. Kind of the bread and butter with our system is our dedicated wiring harness right here. You'll see this cluster of fuse assemblies. What that actually is each device in this system gets its own individual waterproof fuse that actually has a heat shrink printed label that says what it's feeding. Everything ties into 2 cutoff switches. We actually have it set up on this system to where this right switch powers down all the graphs. This left switch kills the 2 active target modules. So if there's ever a tournament you don't want your active targets running, you can kill this to the off position. Graphs will run, but active targets will be turned off.
Nice.
Then on top of that, we like to do things like what you don't see back here. I don't even think I told you this yet. Back behind this battery, we put a grounding bar. What that lets us do is move a lot of the grounds from the factory to one position. So we essentially turned, I counted it, 11 ground ring terminals to one terminal to the battery. So it really cleans up the amount of stuff on the batteries. We make all our little jumper wires in-house and really try to make it clean. And also in the event that something does happen, easy to service. That's the biggest thing to do.
I think we hit a home run here.
Yep.
Listen, it was a drive for me to come down here. But listen, you have customers from all over the country that come down here.
It's crazy. We've had customers come from California, up north by you. I mean, literally all over the place. Midwest. I mean, heck, we got guys in Australia buying wiring harnesses from us.
Wow.
We take a little bit more niche approach when it comes to rigging boats. I'm a passionate tournament angler myself. I spend a lot of time on the water every year. I mean, I put probably 200 to 300 hours on a boat a year. I think a lot of that translates over to how boats are rigged. Not knocking the traditional dealer, but a lot of times guys just don't have experience using this product, and that's where our expertise kind of jump in. So we've been really blessed with the business growing the way it has, and people coming all over the place. And I love meeting new people and getting to rig some awesome boats like this set up here.
So if somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get more information and maybe schedule a time to come? I mean, for me, it was real simple. We just picked a day. I'm traveling, so I was able to stay overnight. Worked out great.
Yeah, so we're appointment based. A lot of times, your traditional dealer, what they'll do is you bring your boat, it sits there for 6 weeks. We're appointment based, so we set a specific date your boat arrives. Typically, depending on the install, 2 to 5 business days later, things are done. If you're looking to get a hold of us, the best way to get a hold of us is our website, which is SonarProsElectronics.com, or our social medias, which both Facebook and Instagram are at SonarPros as well.
Man, if you guys want to get your boat rigged properly with all this craziness that we have nowadays, SonarPros is definitely the place to do it. Awesome. It was awesome meeting you. I really appreciate it.
You too, man.
And I can't wait to get out on the water and give this a try.
It's going to be awesome.
Awesome. And of course, I couldn't wait to get out on the water. So the very next day, I called up my friend Austin Neary with Dreamcatcher's Guide Service. We decided to go down to Lake Lanier and see if we can catch a few fish, check and make sure everything's working, and set the hook. You know what I mean? And I actually caught a pretty nice, my first fish out of the Caymas, pretty nice spotted bass. I'll show you. Yo, SmallmouthCrush, Austin, Dreamcatcher.
What up? What up?
Late winter.
Late winter.
Woo! Breezy. We're gonna see if we can catch a few fish today. Damn.
Dude, look how he got that jerkbait, bro.
Yeah.
God, look at the size of that spot.
I needed that.
Oh gosh. Golly.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
We got him. Oh, sweet.
God, he got that thing good, dude.
Ooh, that's a good fish.
I know.
If any of you guys are curious or wondering if I should go with Caymas or not, I'm telling you right now, you certainly should. I've had just an amazing experience with this boat. It cuts through waves well. It runs great. It's a solid platform. Big storage compartments. There's so much. In fact, I'm going to get into some other little things that I've done with this boat to make it even better. But as far as the layout and the setup, whether it be the cooler system, all the different drawers and areas that they give you for storage, there's just a ton of room in this boat. And it's just a solid platform. It truly is the best riding boat I've ever been in. All right, we're going to do a quick walk around stuff, but of course we got the Mercury Pro XS 250 power poles. Now, I always ran 10-foot blades in the past. This year I went with 8. The reason being is there really isn't a reason. I just wanted to try 8, see if I get away with it. I found that a lot of times when I'm in deeper water, I can use my trolling motor and I can hold on a spot with that. So I went with the 8. It's just a little smaller profile. I think it'll be great. In the back here, that's where all the magic happens, of course. So I run LithiumPros batteries. I have 2 12 volts. One's going to be to start the motor and all the accessories. The other one's going to be for all the graphs. So we have a lot of power that we need to use. And of course, in the description, I'm going to have all the links to the exact batteries that I use. And then I have 2 36-volt trolling motor batteries in here. So back here, we also have the power pole charge. I've had the charge in all 3 of my last boats. And I'm telling you right now, it is unreal as far as the fact that I can plug the boat in and stuff's work. I don't have battery issues anymore. I used to go through a lot of issues before I got the charge. I don't even worry about it. I literally unplug it. I don't even look at and see if the lights are green because they are green. They're always green. This thing has not let me down. And if you're like me or you just want to make sure you don't have any problems when it comes to your batteries and charging them, the power pole charge system is definitely hands down the way to go. It comes with an app as well, so at real time I can see what's going on. In fact, somehow they linked it up to my Lowrance graph. I can even just hit the graph and take a look at my batteries throughout the day if I wanted to. So a couple things you'll notice in the video. I forgot to order the step for the trailer here. That's really important. In fact, not having it the last couple days, it was kind of a little tricky getting in and out of the boat, right? Back in the old days, that's what you had to do, but no more. They actually sent it to me, so it's at my house. So as soon as I get home, I'm gonna bolt that on the trailer. You'll also notice I'm missing the spare tire. I had a little incident last night. Somebody dumped a load of metal and crap on the road, and luckily no fiberglass damage, but it did get one of my tires, so we had to deal with that last night. If we get another flat on the way home, we're in trouble though. All right, I do want to take a little bit of time to talk about some of the specific stuff, and let's start back by the motor. Of course, I run a Mercury Pro XS. I've always ran Mercury. I'll always run Mercury. The power poles, it's a big deal. Besides just having an amazing product, the customer service is great. I know the guys very well down there. They've been on the live stream before. The charge system, seriously, I cannot stress enough, the charge system is going to help take away a lot of those problems that you have with other battery chargers that are out there. LithiumPros batteries, there is a difference from the cheap batteries and a true quality lithium battery. I promise you, they've been around the longest. They got it dialed in. and it's the most compatible lithium battery for your motors, for your electronics, and for your trolling motors. So I like to add just some smaller accessories that really seem to just make a big difference, make my life easier, because I'm in and out of that boat. I use that boat every day. One of them would be the Russell Marine Products light, power pole light. If you haven't tried that, it sure beats putting your light pole in and out all the time. It's fairly inexpensive. You can go over to Russell Marine Products and order that. So Richie at Thayers also threw in a DD26, which is actually a transom saver, which is a pretty cool device that I've been using. Of course, I'm also using the leash system on the back of the motor. I've had that now on last 3 of my boats. Highly recommend that. It's going to save you in a situation where you hit something that's submerged or whatever the case may be. You run into a log or rock pile and that motor comes off, the bolt's shear. That motor's going to flip back into your bass boat. That leash is going to protect it and make sure it doesn't happen. So to me, it's just peace of mind. Of course, the mounts, we talked about it. Bass Boat Technologies, my favorite mounting system out there. Very solid. I run big waves, guys. It's not coming off. It's a solid product. And another product I want to talk about, which is really beneficial for tackle organization in a bass boat. They have all kinds of different products to fit your brand of bass boat, and that's AMP Marine, AMPD Marine. They make a tackle really organization system for your boat. I'm going to show you a before and after, and that's just, and you can customize all of this. I have one at the big center storage compartment. I also have them for the back of the compartment so I can actually stack my 3700 series boxes. Directly in front of the passenger seat, I have a little drawer as well. They make a little tray in there, and I actually put my scents and a few other things in that system. So it's been great. I actually encourage you to check out their website. They have a lot of great tackle storage solutions, products that are going to fit your boat. Quality stuff. Let them know SmallmouthCrush sent you. So here's another thing that I'm probably going to get bombarded with in the comments here. The fish obsessed mounts. You may have seen that. Those are the mounts that are holding my active target and my live scope. It allows you to really manipulate what direction and how you want that live forward-facing sonar set up. It's going to allow you to get away from interference. It's going to get away from the trolling motor. There's a lot of different reasons why you would want that. If you have a forward-facing sonar, that's the exact mount that you're going to want. Lowrance and active target, and they probably make it for Humminbird as well. So you can head on over to their website. Everything, again, is going to be down below in the description. I'm at least going to try my best to get that information out there. But I've used them on my last boat, and it truly is, it's way better than the stock mounts that these forward-facing sonars come with. Hey, listen, one thing when it comes to my boats, I like to keep them clean. I like to make them stay clean and looking good. And so I reached out to Joe Raymond, who's been on this show before. And Joe was able to get me sheets of aqua traction that I actually put on the boat itself in certain areas where I just thought there should be a little bit more protection. Specifically in the very back, I saw a lot of people would be able to, step on that fiberglass in the very back of the boat, and so I wanted to protect that. And I also want to put some protection along the sides where the passenger or the co-angler would sit, so the reels aren't banging against the fiberglass. So I put a little bit of extra protection around the boat. Joe came in, did some measurements. If you want to reach out to him, I will put his Facebook link down below as well. I'm not sure how motivated he is to do this to all the boats out there, but if you have a specific size or pieces that you want, I think he'd be able to help you out with that. And then, of course, we have to give a big thanks to Thayers Marine. Richie did an awesome job. Very, very easy process ordering that boat. Customer service is top notch. They got a lot of used boats. They can get you set up, and the volume that they move is incredible. But they definitely have it going on. Head on over to Thayers Marine. Let them know that SmallmouthCrush sent you. And if you're interested in a Caymas, I would certainly start there. But of course, they have other boats as well. So head on over to their website if you want some more information. But Richie will definitely hook you up right. There it is, the ultimate setup. I love this boat. I think it's going to work out great. I'm going to let you guys know throughout the year my experience with this rig. Let me know in the comments what you think. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. We'll put a couple other videos to check out as well on the screen. And as always, until next time, we'll see you guys on the water.